Hello and welcome to the 19th BOH Cameronian Arts Awards on set. I am Sabrina Hassan, and today with me I have one of the nominees for Best Performance in a supporting role in the musical theatre category, Miss Alexandra Kay. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Sabrina. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, congratulations on your
Thank you
nomination.
so much. Thank you.
Right. Alex, what is it about musical theatre that you enjoy?
Just the pure spectacle of it. It's not just one thing. It's not just acting. It's also dancing. It's also the musical and the vocal point of view. I think there's so much. There isn't a musical that I think hasn't posed a challenge for me. And I think that's something that I'm very, very into, challenging. And it's completely immersive all the time. You're transporting the audience into a different world. For our show in particular, to Transylvania. That's not something you see on the daily. And I love that. So many aspects, so much room to play with, so much to expand on and play with. So that's why I like musical theatre.
And you played Countess Estrella in Spooks.
Yes.
What was it about this character that attracted you?
Just the sheer amount of layers that she had. Even when Scott McQuaid, our writer and director, first offered me the role, I think hearing about her and hearing how many layers there were to her, so many, even stuff that is unseen or unexplained to the audience, so much to dig into. And I accepted also because I was equally excited and ecstatic and very honored to be offered the part, but equally terrified. And I think that's something I look for in roles, in like just knowing that I have space to grow into that role and come out of it a better performer, a more resilient performer, a stronger performer. So 50% excited, 50% very terrified. So
what terrified you the most?
Just being that character. You know, she only has two scenes in the entire musical, but those scenes have to be so impactful. When she comes in the first time, it's this huge, extensive scene with, you know, all these even fire and magic tricks we're doing on stage and all that, and the sheer amount of dances, and it's just a spectacle. It's a festival in the show. But knowing that I had to then come in again in the second act and make sure that performance, maybe a smaller scale number, and still have that same impact, and after the first number, have people wanting more. And I just knew physically I would be completely challenged, having to dance, like belly dance almost, like Egyptian dancing.
While singing?
While singing, while performing.
Okay, how do you do that? How do you prepare for that?
Oh gosh, for musicals, usually I start with running on a treadmill and singing. But I quickly realized as we got into rehearsal that playing Countess Estrella is more like doing the hula hoop and singing and acting, because of the amount of contortions that she does. She does a lot of, belly dancing, sort of side to side or rippling. So just getting the stamina for that and like the repetition and the stamina for that. And then also add on a very tight corset, that I was wearing a very tight corset. Okay. And SFX contact lenses that I could barely see out of. And I wear prescription glasses, and these were flat. So add the lights, add the darkness and the magic, all that. So really just rehearsing and getting the stamina and repetition, really. So you can trust yourself on stage. So that was the challenge physically. Yeah.
Okay. And how long was that process?
Our rehearsal process is very short. It's only 6 weeks.
Okay.
And I knew I got the role. I was offered the role maybe about a month and a half before. So that preparation was just on my own, whether it's character study or getting my stamina up, or we got the songs pretty early on and just trying to get somewhere before we start the rehearsal. So I'm not going in blind. So yeah, about 8 weeks, 9 weeks totally. So in total, yeah.
Okay. And what was it that you enjoyed the most?
The thrill of it all, really. The thrill of being on stage with all my colleagues and knowing we have a really solid show, something we're so proud of. I don't think there's any other feeling like that, knowing you have a spectacular show that you know people would love and that you equally love, if not more. And the challenge of it, really, knowing that you've worked so hard to step into this role that's so unlike myself. I think that's something I look for in roles as well, how different it is, how much space I have to be someone else and how much work I have to do. The more work, I'm like, okay, give me that. Let me explore, let me grow. So I think that, just the thrill of being in that show, like I would honestly give anything to do that show again. I really, really, really like it. We have to tell new stories, so yeah.
Okay. So then what's next for you?
What's next? Other than being an actor, I'm also a producer for stage and screen. So I run 2 indie companies with Scott McQuaid, the director. We started working together 6 years ago, and I run 2 companies, indie companies, sister companies, Pop-Up Theatre and Plastic Monkey Films. So right now, we are going into a season of coming back to live theatre as a very small theatre company. It's really just me and Scott and our actors and stuff. We have a play coming up in June, and that's something we're preparing for now. So I'm stage managing that, as well as acting in it. So I'm very excited. So that's what's next for me. Very exciting. As well as our second feature film under Plastic Monkey Films.
Okay, so they do films?
Yes, so we have 2 companies. They're sister companies. We have Plastic Monkey Films, and then we have Pop-Up Theatre. So with our film company, Scott has always been half film, half theatre. He can't choose one or another, so we do both. And his second feature film, The Heartsmith, is coming out this year. We're going to do the films festival circuit around the world, so we're just preparing for that now.
Alex, if you were not an actor, what would you be doing?
It is a very question with many answers. I think as I was growing up, I'd just like to do a lot of things, whether it's playing multiple instruments or dancing or doing theatre. But I got really close to going to culinary school to become a food stylist. Okay. So whether it's in ads or for menus and stuff like that, I know it's a very different path from the one I've taken now.
Not really.
Not really. I think it's the juggling
still
aspect.
creative,
Creative. And because of my interests for food styling or even costume designing and hair makeup, I do hair makeup as well. As an indie company, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades. Yeah. I think I can't really see myself doing anything else than I do. I mean, it's everything that I've culminated over the years, even as a kid, even with digital marketing or things like that, non-creative things. It's all culminated to me being a producer now, and it makes me better as an actor as well. So,
yeah, you as a producer, how do you want to push boundaries?
I think pushing boundaries for us mainly comes of being just fluid, ready to do anything, be anything. I think I started out producing when I was 19, and that was not something, I didn't go to film school, I haven't gone, I'm not professionally trained or anything, but knowing that I was confident enough to be thrown into the deep end and be fluid and be versatile and learn all these things. I think we push boundaries as a very small indie company, creating these amazing shows and amazing films with a 2-man crew, through 2-3-man crew and a very small budget. And it's just being, really nifty about what you do and picking up all these skills. I think that's truly for us how we push boundaries in our company. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex, for joining us
today.
today.
Serena. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you. So pleased, so honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.